Namaste.
India has the population of 1.3 billion, making it the second most populated country in the world. So it's only natural for you to come across dozens of us no matter which part of the world you live in. However, in case of VRChat, you rarely come across any of us, and when some do, they have hundreds of questions for us to choose from. Hey, how's it going everyone? I'm Ethan348 and in today's video, I'll be answering the questions of people in VRChat in regards to my country.
What's your favorite Indian food?
Well, there's a lot to choose from, but I guess it can be butter chicken with naan.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it is delicious.
I want to try it.
Sure, there are like hundreds of Indian restaurants up there in United States.
Corona.
Yeah.
There's some champagne.
Yeah.
Namaste.
It's namaste, Yeshua. I suppose in French you say bonjour.
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 Yes.
Okay.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. You know, I think I'm something of a French myself.
Yeah, you're French. You just need to live in Pondicherry. Okay, I go with the first question.
Okay.
How many elephants do you have at home?
Well, I personally don't have any elephants, even though my hometown it happens to be in a rural area. Some fellas there have an elephant for the rent, you know. If some people come over there as tourists, looking around the place, they might fancy an elephant ride, and that's where the elephants are used. So personally, I don't have any elephants, but yeah, people in the village do.
Okay, understand.
What's the most common activity? Like, what do you guys do most of the time? Like, outdoor activities for like kids. What do they do? Like,
Outdoor activities.
is there like a specific game? Like,
a
a game that not everyone else?
I think there might just be some games, but back as kids, well, we all had hide and seeks. Let's just take that out. We used to play cops and robbers. Was that a thing you used to play as a kid back then? Cops and robbers. Basically, cops are the ones
Not me.
who run after robbers. No. Well,
For me, yeah.
okay. So,
Not me. Probably other.
well, I mean, as a kid, I used to just hang out with my friends, and I used to do what they did, like playing squash, playing badminton, swimming, playing hide and seek, cycling around. We used to actually have our own gangs of It was 2010, and back in 2008 was the time when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, and by the time it was popularized in India, it was 2010 when Ballad of Gay Tony was also released, and before that there was another expansion pack called The Lost and Damned. We were inspired by that, and like those guys used to go around in their angels, that's what they used to call their bikes, and we used to go around in our bicycles, and we used to think we're in some sort of gang member. Like we had our own territories, stoves, etc. So any additional activities, if there might be something, I'll let you know. But for now, the answer is going to be there isn't anything specific that we do which is different than what you guys do. It's just, yeah, it's the same, pretty much.
Okay, I get that.
How much? How often do you eat curry?
Curry. I have chicken once a week. It's chicken curry, so I eat once a week in that case. It's not going to be something I'll get used to because when my university reopens, it's not like I'll be having chicken curry on daily basis. Besides, the part of country I live in, it's mostly vegetarian.
What's a stereotype about India that people believe in, but it's not true?
There's a common stereotype. People think Indians speak Indian. However, there's no such language as Indian. We have thousands of languages to choose from. So there's no such language as Indian. For me, my first language happens to be Hindi. For my parents, it's gonna be Angika. They're born and raised in the eastern part of the country called Bihar. I was not born and raised there, so Angika was not my first language, so it was Hindi. Since I moved from one part of the country to another, mostly northern part of the country. So Hindi was what was used as the primary language to communicate with each other.
Do you think Bollywood is better than Hollywood?
I personally won't say that. Bollywood actually makes good movies, but I honestly would not compare it with Hollywood because what they make, it's totally different. So I really don't think there should be any comparison, honestly.
Subject in India, like in Hindu, that is more specific to India.
It's not very common in schools, but they have implemented Vedas in schools because Vedas was what India was basically known for back in the days before people started imposing more of the Western education system. I mean, it's not like our education system was any different to begin with. Vedas was something I never learned because it was not part of our education back when I was in the school, but I have heard in the news and I've read the articles on the internet, and as far as I can tell, if I'm not mistaken, they might be looking forward to implement Vedas into the education system. Then we have Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the language from which so many languages had been derived. For example, Hindi was derived from Sanskrit. I suppose it was the same case with Nepali. I'm saying that because Nepali and Hindi, they both use the same characters, Devanagari, just like Sanskrit does. Sanskrit is a subject that is taught to us during the first year of middle school, and it is your choice if you want to continue with Sanskrit in high school or not. I actually chose computer science once I was in high school, and I didn't continue with Sanskrit.
What about our music? Lecha, lecha.
Leja. That's actually the song. It's from the 2001 movie Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. So the song's name is Bole Churiyan, and they sing in a family occasion. I just don't quite remember what exactly that was, since the movie came out back in 2001 and the last time I watched it, it was back in 2007. They think that most of the Indians, they're snake charmers, going around playing with snakes, making people enjoy their lives. You know, have you heard of the snake charmers? They play this flute type of thing that is made of dried gourd. Loki is what we call it in our language. So they make the snakes dance, and it was actually a stereotype that originated from England, if I'm not mistaken, and since then the entire world started calling us the snake charmer country.
Like a red point on their face.
Oh, you
Or
mean
like on the top of their eyes.
you mean that red dot thing? It's called bindi, and it is usually worn.
Correct.
It is actually worn by women, and it goes into the traditional attire. You see, like, you can obviously wear bindi no matter what outfit you're wearing. It just depends whether it's going to match your casual ones or not. But they're mostly worn, and they're even decorated with shiny gems around it. It depends on what the occasion is. The bindis can be of like various types. I really don't know, to be honest, because my mom is the one who wears it, and so does my sister during traditional occasions. I've never honestly seen them wearing them when they're not in their traditional attire. So bindi can be considered as one of the parts of this traditional attire Indian women wear.
Well, if someone was gonna go visit India, where would you recommend them to go?
You're from United States, so it's a pretty temperate climate up there. So if you ever visit India, obviously the first thing people usually recommend is the landmarks and the Taj Mahal, for example. But the problem is that all lies in the torrid zone. India itself is the country that the major part of which lies in the torrid zone, which is like really very hot. If people are from the temperate zone, I'd recommend them to visit the hill station. There's a lot of things for you to enjoy up there. Well, if you want to go down south, if you can bear with the climate, I obviously am going to recommend you to visit Taj Mahal. There's a lot to choose from. Like currently I live in Gujarat. Here Adalat Stepwell is really well known landmark, and there happens to be Sabarmati Ashram. Then there's Gir Forest. It's Tiger Reserve. It's more of a national park. There are lots of national parks. Kaziranga up there in northeast, it is the reserve for rhinoceros. There's Ranthambore in the western part of the country. It's for the birds. If you were ever to come to India, my first suggestion would be visit some hilly areas. It's just my personal opinion, since I was born and raised in hilly areas before I came down to west, and I was actually used to the climatic conditions up there compared to what it is down here.
Is it hotter there or where you're at right now?
Even though I have my air conditioner on, I still feel like going full commando.
Oh my, oh no.
You don't want that. What is it?
Namaste.
Namaste. I suppose that's everything. Thank you so much, Yeshua.
Yes.
Okay then.
You're welcome. How do you say you're welcome in Indian?
First of all, there's no such language as Indian, and I really don't know if there's anything as you're welcome in a language. There might just be, but I'm not sure because I speak Hindi and I've never used any Hindi term that is similar to that of you're welcome. So, no, and you can just say you're welcome. That's what we do. Improvisation.
Okay. You're welcome.
Okay, Yeshua, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.